Hydrogen bonding is an attractive force between molecules that contain OH groups. If we look at water molecules, they have oxygen atoms and hydrogen atoms bonded together, but the electronegativity of oxygen is much higher than the electronegativity of hydrogen. So the electrons in the bond are held more tightly by the oxygen. This gives oxygen a slightly more negative charge and hydrogen a slightly more positive charge. And that's the notation used. So that's a lowercase delta, delta minus, and delta plus. That shows that oxygen is slightly more negative and hydrogen is slightly more positive. But it's not a full positive and negative charge because it's still a covalent bond. So in a sample of water, all the molecules are floating around and they each have slightly negative ends and slightly positive ends. This means there's going to be a strong attraction between the negative end of one water molecule and the positive end of another. So we will denote that with a dashed line. So as you can see, these dashed lines represent an attractive force and we call them hydrogen bonds. Hydrogen bonds aren't limited to just water though. You can have it in other molecules too. Here I'm going to compare two organic molecules, methanal, which is an aldehyde, and methanol, which is an alcohol. Both molecules contain oxygen, which is a highly electronegative element, so that means we're going to have polar bonds. So all of these molecules are polar. Since they're all polar molecules, they will all dissolve in water, because water is also polar. However, methanol has this OH group, just like water does, which means hydrogen bonding can occur. So there's a strong force of attraction between methanol molecules and water molecules. Although methanal is polar, there's no OH group, so there can't be any hydrogen bonding occurring. So methanal has no hydrogen bonding. Methanol has an OH group, which means you can have hydrogen bonds occurring. So because methanol can have hydrogen bonding, it is more soluble in water than methanal. So the key to remember is hydrogen bonds occur between molecules that contain OH groups. And molecules that can do hydrogen bonding are more soluble in water than molecules that can't do hydrogen bonding.